Welcome to Pocha 89. Was that harmonization?
Oh, girl.
No, I don't think so.
It was not. It was
two
like
deep
a
voices.
little C and then C minor there. C minor.
So a chord from a cat.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our Pocha 89 podcast. We're your two hosts, Jasper and Joe. And don't we look special tonight?
What are you doing? I haven't dressed up yet.
Oh, shoot.
But it is Joe's birthday, so we're celebrating after this.
Woo! Say happy birthday.
Please. So today I brought peach berry punch sour ale. I'm not usually a beer drinker, but I do like sour beers.
Oh, wait, this is beer?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like hard liquor, not hard liquor, hard seltzer with like sour taste.
No, this is sour. I don't think sour beer is like popular in New York, but in the West Coast before it was a really big thing. I don't know if it's any popular now though.
I like sour beer.
Yeah. So whoever has a drink out there, grab yours and join us.
What's your drink?
Cheers.
What's your drink? Let us know if you want us to drink certain type of drinks of your favorite on your favorite list. Let us know on down comment below, and we'll try to get it, and we'll show it. We'll display it next time.
And before we forget,
What?
You can subscribe and comment, and what's the other one? The ring the bell.
Ring the bell, alert.
Yeah.
And please, you know what? At this point, since we don't have any comments, just write anything, even negative. That's fine.
Just even an emoji.
Yeah, even a negative one, we'll take it. Come on, what could go wrong?
All comments are good.
Not all comments are good comments. YouTubers are wild. YouTubers are wild. But anyways, tonight's Anju. I know it doesn't sound like an Anju, which is, but we have show them
fried chicken sandwich.
Fried chicken with fried chicken.
Okay, I don't like to eat fast food, but I do love me a fried chicken sandwich.
Is this like a West Coast thing for you specifically, or
no? Just like it's just my personal.
Okay, yeah,
I love fried chicken sandwiches.
It's from Louisiana.
Popeyes. Popeyes is my week. It's like my kryptonite.
Oh.
3 a.m. after a couple of drinks, not more than a couple. After a night, 3 a.m. I get home. There's a Popeyes 2 blocks away from my
He's
apartment.
always there.
It's not me, but like something inside of me brought me there. And I would always get some fried chicken. Get home.
You get possessed.
3:30. Sometimes I fall asleep before I even take a bite. I wake up in the morning. Somebody brought me Popeyes. Wasn't me.
You do that every time.
Wasn't me.
You do that too often.
Yeah.
I love Popeyes for their popcorn shrimp. Classic. When I pass by Popeyes, I may not get their chicken, even though I like them. Popcorn shrimp, I always get them.
This is a really good deal now too. Like it's 2 for 1.
Yeah, 1 buy 1 get 1 free, BOGO, and the whole thing was like $6, $6.50 or $6.70. I got 2, so why not?
Yeah,
it's someone's party tonight, so we're gonna have some food. Anyway, hold on. So what's today's topic? Or
tonight's topic is we're gonna talk about American traditions and American culture that growing up as an Asian American and as an Asian living in the US, we cannot understand. We cannot comprehend.
Oh yes. There's quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, it will be really fun to talk about it tonight.
It's very interesting, even as like somebody who born and raised in the US, born in an Asian household, is completely different kind of culture.
I bet it is.
I remember when I was young, I went to my first like friend's party where I met my friend's parents, and they're like, "Oh, my mom, Andrea."
Oh, calling other friends' moms by their first name.
Calling other mothers' first name when you're a kid is so weird to me.
So weird.
I grew up, I have to say Mrs. Blank or like Auntie Blank.
So true.
It's never first name.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah. But American culture, it's very like your friend obviously first name, your coworker's first name.
Yeah.
But like your friend's mom, even at this age, I would not call your mom whatever your mom's first name is. Like Miss, I'm not gonna say your last name in case, but yeah.
Yeah. That is weird. But here's the thing. You're Asian American born and raised in United States. I'm Asian born in Asia, yet grew up with and in majority Caucasian
Yeah.
populated countries. I know it's weird. It's against my culture to call someone's name, a mom's name by their first name
Or dad.
or dad. But it's not like that weird because I've tried it once.
You did it once?
Yeah. I was like, Sarah.
I don't think I've ever done that. Even so,
Sarah.
when I was young, my friend told me, "Oh, you can just call my." I asked him, "What should I call your mom?"
Mm.
Because sometimes mom, like they have certain, they don't want to be called Mrs. or they just want to be called Auntie or whatever.
Sweet honey bunch.
They're like, "Oh, just call her by Andrea or like the first name." I could not
Culture
get
shock.
it out of my
Right there, culture shock.
I felt like I was gonna commit a sin.
Yeah, that is a sin. Yeah, you call someone's mom by their first name, death sentence. That mom will tell after you leave the house. That mom will immediately tell her son or daughter, be like, "That is not the right friend you're gonna have."
Who raised her?
Yeah, who? Which family? Which household is it?
It's such an Asian thing. I don't know. I don't think European, even people in Europe, have this kind of thing, do they? They just call their moms.
I remember calling them by
Right.
something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Europe?
Yeah.
Interesting. So it's rude Americans.
But also like Sarah, the lady's name, my friend's mom's name. He's one of my German best friend.
Oh.
And when I went over to his house so many times to the point where she told me like, "Oh, just call me Sarah," and I was like, "Sarah, I can't."
Yeah.
So I was like, I could not. But I remember, I think certain people also allow that to happen. So certain Europeans are okay with that culture.
Yeah. I don't think it's rude. It's just a culture. It's literally a culture shock for me. But I think that's also why a lot of Americans, like the parent and daughter or son relationship is also much closer.
That is so true.
There's this like bond that's like sometimes, oh, my mom's my best friend. I would never say that. I've never heard an Asian kid say my mom's her best friend.
See, this is where the difference kicks in. I consider my mom and dad as I could consider my mom and dad as best friend. Like I talk to them so often, like at least once a week. Once we talk for 2-3 hours, we talk about everything that happens in our life, even to the point where we talk about sex life if we need to. It's not like we enjoy talking about sex. It's more like,
say that one more time.
Sex life.
You talk with your mom
about my sex life. Are you using protection? Yeah, very progressive. But the thing is, it's not like we talk about sex every time we like as if it's like a sip of tea that we're about to spill. It's more like, hey, I'm trying this, but it's not working. I was like
technique and position.
Well, yeah, sometimes technical position, but more just if there's a problem. Anyways, let's go back to the point. Like that's where the difference kicks in, right? I do consider my mom and dad as best friend, but I realize a lot of friends around me, Asian friends around me, don't think that way.
I think you have to pick one lane. You're either a parent or you're a friend. Because once those lines are blurred, then it's hard to have control. I think as an adult, maybe it's okay to be both. But when you're a kid, you need that like, higher authority discipline. And it's hard to be a friend and a guardian or a parent.
You want someone to whip you, and you never call someone who whip you as friend.
No, you don't whip somebody and then talk about your sex life with them. Actually,
okay, that sounds very wrong. we're not gonna get there. I got whipped a lot. All Asian kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say all. Some are spoiled brats who got never touched, but like
well, it's also called gentle parenting.
I don't
doesn't
believe in
exist
that. But,
in Asia. Never heard
in
of it.
Asia, gentle parenting? Where? Please tell me.
I've seen videos of gentle parenting, and it amazes me that it works.
Here's the thing. I think
It depends on the kid, actually.
yeah.
Gentle parenting would have never worked on me, but it would have worked with my sister.
Never on me either. Me? Someone try to be gentle with me? No. Immediate failure.
This is a result of beatings.
Oh yeah. Thank God I'm here where I am right now.
Monthly.
Yeah. I mean, it's my birthday tonight. So I'm just gonna say this out loud. Thank you for raising me with all that whipping, all that skill, all that energy you spent on whipping me and smacking me didn't go to waste.
The
Because
slippers,
the
the
slippers,
belt.
the belt.
Did you get the belt?
I got golf stick.
Ooh,
It was
upgrade.
upgrade.
Luxury.
Yeah. But
Mine was a clothes hanger.
that hurts.
You know why? Once a break, it's cheap to buy another one. You can't buy another golf club that easily.
Here's the thing. My dad broke his golf stick after hitting me. He kept it the same one.
And what did he say? Look, you broke it.
Exactly. He blamed me. That's that crazy, man. I love him. He's one of my best friends. But yeah, parents and children relationship, like filial piety, all this Asian like hierarchy within the household thing, the
Yeah.
culture thing, definitely, I think affects in the way how children call their parents and how parents call their children. What else?
Also think of this. You don't have kids, obviously. If your niece or nephew brought their friend and their friend called you by your first name, what would your reaction be?
Honestly, I'll be okay about it, but I'll still go to. I don't know. I'll still go to. Blue means connected. Maybe red means it's running out of battery. So stop cutting me.
I think
it's on.
Oh, we didn't share this one.
Let's use this one first. Let's see. Okay, question again.
How to. If your niece or nephew brought their friend over and that friend called you by your first name, how would you react?
Smack that bitch right away. Discipline. Yeah.
If your parents don't teach you, I will do it.
Yeah, exactly. Your parents, I don't care who they are.
And then you get a letter from attorney.
Well,
this is 2025.
I don't have any problem with that. Wait, if it's my niece or nephew, that means it's my brother or sister's son or daughter, right?
Or a cousin. I consider my cousin's kids my niece.
My cousin's kids, I'll be careful. I'll just go directly to my cousin and be like, "Your kids." Bye. Walk away. But if it's my brother or sister, direct biological sister or brother's son or daughter,
their friend.
Oh, their friend, right?
Yeah.
Smack.
Smack.
Yeah, have their parent come to me.
Where?
In front of my knee.
No, smack there.
Oh, honestly, I always thought of doing the cheek, but maybe that's a little too, like,
aggressive.
No, soft.
Oh.
I think I'll just really
see
like giving concussions. Oh, I love physical violence. Okay, that's why I love UFC. Tomorrow's Super Bowl. Yeah.
If my niece or nephew's friend called me by my first name, I think I'll just say, "Are we friends? Do I know you?" And then I'll look at my nephew or niece and be like, "You need to teach him how to talk to me."
Okay, you just sounded like Korean, right? Just now.
Oh, really?
You teach him how to. That is so you. Yeah. That's what you would do. But one thing.
At least I won't get sued by their mom or dad.
2025. You just said that. 2025. Anyone can sue you for any reason, even the smallest issue. Me, as Asian, born in Asia, grew up in Asia and Europe, I like the culture shock that I have after coming to United States is that Why do people wear shoes when they walk into their home? And I've seen, was it on CNN or was it on a news channel? It was, I saw it on YouTube, but it was definitely a news channel. They covered the entire section of their news about this, interviewing strangers on the street, asking the question, oh, is it like, what do you think about this whole new trend where people try to make guests take off their shoes before they walk into the house? And I was surprised. Some people were like, oh, I don't know. I feel so uncomfortable when I have to take off my shoes. It feels like they're not welcoming me. I'm like, bitch, you got the invitation to come into my house. That itself is an invitation. What do you mean I'm not being welcome? Dirty ass motherfucking shoes? Ain't nobody trying to walk into my house like that. You try to walk into like that, bitch, that's dirty as fuck. Get the fuck out. I'm sorry, I was too.
We live in New York. These streets,
Hell dirty.
it is
Disaster.
landmine of
Hell yeah.
diseases,
Yeah.
of bacteria. Like it is not.
If
And then you're gonna walk into your home and then step all over your floors.
exactly.
Dude, this is so ignorant of me, but they don't wear the shoes in their bed, right?
No, the thing is they don't step on their bed. They don't completely go on the bed with their shoes, but they still have their shoes on when they're on the bed. They just their legs just hanging out of their bed, but still they're like wearing it from restroom to living room to their bedroom. And I'm like, the heck? And then one time, every time when I visit their house to do back in college, especially let's do group work, my friends are like, Joe, just walk in, just come in. No one's taking off the shoes. I'm like, I feel
Like my insides are coming out when I walk into even somebody else's house with my outside shoes.
I know. And apparently there's like a US thing.
Yeah.
It's a US thing. Okay, here's the thing. If you live in like Wyoming or like Nebraska, Salt Lake City, I love that city. Beautiful, like no pollution, minimum amount of pollution. Its streets are clean because every day someone is out there cleaning your street. I guess maybe it makes sense, but still, But it
It's
personally
not
living
just
in your
about like
city,
it's not just about clean streets, but it's like gravel
yeah,
and dirt, and
someone's pee.
I've puked on the streets before.
Okay,
So my
good for
puke
you.
is in some Americans'
Shoes.
home.
Hell yeah, your DNA is there.
Mm,
It's imprinted somewhere out there.
yeah, on a
That
footprint.
Yeah, that's a huge culture shock.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's culture shock for me, even though I'm born here. But growing up, I didn't have a very controlled childhood where I didn't go to a lot of people's homes. I didn't know that a lot of Americans and a lot of my American friends growing up had this kind of culture until I went to my first birthday party at someone else's house, which is much later in life. But it was so weird.
it is very weird.
Yeah.
That's one of the huge culture shocks I've ever had in my life. How do you do that? Like, how do you do that?
Like when you go to a water park and before you go into each water park jungle gym, there's a little water pond bath where you dip your feet in to clean it before you go into the real water park part. That's what they for every household. Instead of a welcome mat, it's chlorine sanitizing solution. You dip your feet in there, dry it up, and then walk into your house. But at that point, just take off your shoes.
Yeah, at that point, take off the shoes because you don't want to spend money on that thing. God knows how much that thing will cost.
When I was in college, I invited one of my American friends, like white American friends, over to my apartment. And I was like, oh, just take off your shoes. It's fine. You can come in without your shoes on. He said, oh, no, thank you. I'm good. I wasn't really asking you. It's more of
It was a command.
this is the law of the household,
the policy you have to abide by.
And he was like, oh, no, I don't really want to, have my feet out. And
Bitch, get out then.
It kind of stinks, so I don't really want to.
Oh, that I understand.
And I was like, oh, don't worry. You can just wash your feet in my tub. No, it's okay. So I just let only he has shoes on.
Oh, wasn't it like irky, like ugh, bother you like the whole
The
night?
whole night, all I could look at was his shoes. Where did
Exactly.
he step? I need to clean that part. Where did he
Exactly.
touch? I need to clean that part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? We gotta move on to the next thing that bothers us or any differences that we know.
Okay. This is something I learned later in life too.
Oh.
And when you're at a restaurant, you're not really supposed to raise your hand for service. And you don't do waiter. That's a very Asian thing. I realized later in life.
Yeah, true.
American culture, and not American culture, it's more like also etiquette,
Western in
form, and
general.
formal culture. You're supposed to make eye contact with the waiter, do a little like nod or like a little hand raise for them to come over.
As minimum as possible.
Yeah. But you have to like hunt for their eye contact.
Oh, you're talking to Chinese, Koreans? Hey,
No, they don't snap.
no, they do. Honey, I've worked in this business field for a while.
But okay, snapping is not a common acceptable.
Well, that is
It's
true.
still considered rude.
It is very rude, but I've only seen those gestures from Chinese and Koreans. And I'm not shaming them. Don't get me wrong. There's so many great Chinese and Korean customers, but I've only seen from them.
Well, because you work in a restaurant where mostly Chinese
That is
people go
true.
to. Your data sample is not diverse enough.
And no Filipinos did that, and no Vietnamese did that.
They didn't go to your restaurant.
They
But
do.
anyways, yeah, it's weird because I grew up with going to a lot of Asian restaurants where raising your hand is not considered rude. It's a normal thing to ask for a waiter, ask for service. But literally in college is when I found out that it's actually considered rude in American culture
Yeah,
and
that is true.
restaurants. Because for them, it's like snapping.
Yeah.
But for Asians or Asian Americans, this is just, hey, I'm so sorry. I just want to give you attention a little bit. I just need a little something. But for the,
Wow.
yeah,
That was nice. That's giving me like an very introverted girl trying to get an extra ketchup and hot sauce
Yeah.
for the pho. Oh, sorry. That's shocking.
Yeah. So that's something that's really interesting. But it's also so inefficient. It's so hard to catch eye contact with your waiter.
I think here's the thing. I think we're talking about the dynamics, right? The vibe, the atmosphere of the type of restaurant you're going to. Because in Asia, I'm not speaking on behalf of all Asian restaurants, but in Korea, usually you have to get your own water unless you go to like
Yeah.
fine dining status of like really nice restaurants, right? Any like and if you are at the level, if you're going to a restaurant where it's considered more like fine dining style, where everyone is have to behave with certain manner and etiquette, over there they don't do this. What I'm saying.
Really? Even fine dining in Asia, you can raise your hand and it's considered very normal.
You can, but I'm just saying they would not behave as if they're in like a cheap fast food type of setting of a restaurant. They're like, oh, auntie over here, can I get another round of this? Like they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the atmosphere and atmosphere and the environment, the vibe of the restaurant kind of matters too. Not all Asian people would always just raise their hand. Even in Asia, there's some people who won't like just be very careful. Koreans, they usually get themselves things, and if you go to a restaurant where you have to have someone's attention because it's so loud and everyone's running around, you have to raise a hand. You're not gonna watch that person eye.
That's what I'm saying though. In American culture, that's not considered
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, because
it's an art form, really. To
because
like,
there's no that
you know,
because there's not that many restaurant works like that.
and my eye's not that big, so it's hard to see.
Oh, so there's this correlation between.
Next topic.
Sorry. Okay, mine. For this one, I want you to jump in right away if you think that I'm making a false judgment. The way how
A bitch.
the way how people get into relationship American style versus Asian style is very different. This is my understanding, and based on my experience, for Americans, you could be friends for 10 years and still fall in love
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
You could be like friends with each other for like few months, get to know each other, and you realize you like both of your traits, like characteristics and personality traits, and you fall in love, you jump into a relationship. Usually it takes time. Like even if you like someone, you would wait like at least few months to get to know that person's first, and then you make your own judgment. Like, am I? Are we good enough? Are we compatible? Like you need to know that person first in order for you to get into a relationship. Versus this is what I've gotten to learn from all Asian friends. In Asia, it seems like love in first sight is a thing. I know for a fact Korean people always say this. Oh, today is gonna be our first day remark of the start of our relationship. We'll get to know each other more and more as we go along.
Yeah.
We'll get to know each other more after
In
just like
Asia, it's if we have just a little bit of interest and
That's a start.
we both had the interest, let's become a couple.
Yeah.
There's no period of dating where it's not a couple and just like figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
I think in America we
Take
date,
time.
and dating is before we become a couple,
Like a couple,
official
yeah.
couple.
Yeah.
When we become official couple, that's when we've already know each other's likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
We know why we're so good, compatible together.
Yeah.
But in Asia, I feel like you go on 2 dates, 3 dates, bam.
Yeah. And I'm like, how if I have to choose a side, if I have to,
Yeah.
like my preference, I'm more more on the American
This
side.
is probably the most American side of me.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, how can you get into a relationship with someone you barely know and say, oh, we're gonna get to know each other as we go along with this relationship?
Will you be my
Like,
boyfriend?
yeah, I'm like, oh my god, you don't even know if this girl's mom or dad is possibly a murderer or something,
Yeah.
or this family is a broken family, or a single mother,
Which is not a problem.
which is not a problem, or I don't know, or whatever. Or maybe she actually lives like thousands of miles away. She's only visiting that area for a few months for a business trip, for example.
Yeah.
You don't know. You're only gonna find out about all that while you're in relationship.
But the thing is, like in Asia, this kind of style of dating, fall in fast, fall out fast.
Exactly.
I can't do that. My heart can't take that many heartbreaks. It's a fragile one.
Your heart is very fragile. My heart,
because I watch too many K dramas.
My heart, ironclad. It is. Any relationship problems, hit me. I'll
And they
shake it off.
did.
Huh?
And they did.
Next. What else? What do you want to bring it to the table?
I also had shoes in the house. Another thing is, Asians, and correct me if I'm wrong, Asians and a lot of Asian Americans, we don't really eat sweets for breakfast. Think about
Elaborate sweets. What
Sweet
are the
things.
sweets?
Like I grew up eating breakfast of like onion pancake, the Taiwanese onion pancake, or congee,
So good.
or
Onion pancake.
like all Asian breakfast items are mostly savory and salty. While American breakfast is pancakes, hot syrup, cereal.
The ultimate answer to obesity.
So that was my culture shock. Not culture shock. I keep saying culture shock even though I'm born in the US, but a lot of
culture shock for you.
a lot of Americans have very sweet things for breakfast.
If you have never grown up in the middle of like, I don't know, Louisiana or Tennessee, Mississippi, where did this accent come from? I'm trying to do a little Southern accent here, but if you have never lived in a, let's just say, a Caucasian family, like all American, very typical American household for even a day, you would not know. Especially if you are a person of other race and you grow up with your family who are of the same race, how would you be able to know of any of these unless you get it like you have a very close friends who's of other race or through media, right? But media always exaggerate things, right? But then when it comes to all this breakfast, I think it's real. And it could be a shock because when you turn on the TV back then, you'll see IHOP ads. And IHOP's like always all about drizzling all that thick ass thick syrup.
I'm not used to eating sweet things for breakfast.
Me neither. I'm all Korean when it comes to breakfast.
What is your breakfast?
My breakfast growing up when I
up.
used to live with my mom, she always had this typical Korean household breakfast, 10 to 20 different type of banchan.
20 banchan for breakfast?
Yeah, like I think in modern day, people just choose three, four maximum four banchans of their favorite and they eat it. But back then, back in the days in Korea, like 15 to 20 is like
Back in
basic.
the day, how old are you?
Like even my mom's generation.
Oh.
Like even my mom's generation and when I was born, when I was still baby, like 5 years old, when I went to Korea, my grandma and grandpa did not sit together when they eat. All the men, so my mom, my dad, me, my uncle, my grandpa sit at one table. All the women has to be on the other table. Korean Koreans are that conservative. So talking
Back
about
then.
yeah, and this is only 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So food culture has evolved drastically.
Yeah.
So even when my mom, when I used to be young, even till that day, that time, my mom still try her best to make at least 20, like 15 to 20 banchans. With always for Koreans, you know this, every meal comes with soup. It has to be different soup.
I'm sure it's not good for your body to have so much sweet sugar when you first wake up in the morning.
Yeah. But did you know having so much salt and soupy stuff and carb in the morning is also bad?
What is good?
Hmm?
What is good?
That's
Starvation.
why, yeah, that's why a nice bowl of salad or yogurt, like Greek yogurt in the morning, is the best actually.
But also they're saying that there's articles out there that say you shouldn't eat cold things for breakfast when you
Oh
first wake
God,
up.
what do we have to eat then? Are we going back to all this like ice age time?
Uh,
We don't know when we wake up.
Nice saltless porridge with mostly water. And that's what the peasants ate.
I think you know what? I'm a modern day peasant. If you think about it,
In this economy, we're all peasants.
we are all
Yeah.
peasants. That's scary. Okay, another culture shock.
Your last one.
Okay, my last one. I don't know if this is true, but it seems like it.
Okay, another accusation.
Mine is all coming from my personal experience while walking around and driving around the United States. It seems like American people just love to talk with strangers. Now, the reason why I'm saying I don't know if this is true is because not all Americans in the United States all like to talk to strangers for the same reason. Now, for southern states, I know it's part of their hospitality culture, right? But if you go to northeastern areas, especially New York, where we live, people do talk to the strangers. Probably not as much as people like in southern or Midwest, but still they talk to like strangers,
Yeah.
right? And you only see Asians are the one who just don't want to get bothered by any of that, and we don't talk to strangers at all.
Actually, I feel like nowadays a lot of Asian Americans are
Like, oh, yeah.
adapting this kind of culture, which is great. I think this is a great quality of a US. I wish I could, but me coming from the West Coast where we mind our own business, and then I'm an introvert, so I also mind my own business like double the amount. So I'm very allergic.
See, this is interesting. This is the reason why I really wanted to ask you while I'm making my point. Like in West Coast, are people known to be known with their hospitality and talking to strangers?
I coming from NorCal, I think SoCal is a little different, but NorCal, we don't really like make random conversations with random people. We mind our business. We will be friendly. They'll hold the door for you if you're walking out, smile at you if we make eye contact. That's it. The barista might be like, "How's your day?" But he doesn't really mean it. You just say, "Great, thanks." But I don't. But that's also coming from an introvert. I'm sure there's extroverts in NorCal that want to make conversation and become friends with the barista, but that's not something I see that happen a lot. But in the East Coast, New York, that's something that happens a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
I love having conversation, getting into a conversation, holding a conversation with strangers. And I happen to do that.
Imagine
a
that in
lot.
Asia. I can't even picture that scene
I'll
in my
be in
head.
jail. I bet there's one of them gonna be like, that kid is a little too strange because he's talking to everyone on the street and everyone's like scared of him. It's
I
possible.
don't think that's those is jail time.
Sorry, I'm only a little creep, but I love to talk. Even when I was in Asia, I talk to strangers. Not as much as I do in the United States, but even in Asia, I did. Not in Korea because I don't feel comfortable in Korea because it's not. Even though I am nationality-wise, I'm Korean, but I never grew up in Korea, so I would not feel comfortable like doing that because I don't know fully of their culture. But in Indonesia, we talk to each other with the strangers. Not as much as US.
Everything's changing now. There's a lot of TikTokers and people on Instagram, YouTube who literally go up to strangers and interview them on the street. That's interesting. That's like changing it up. People talking to random people on the street.
Yeah. You're talking about Asian TikTokers, right?
Yeah. In Asia. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to prove a point where it is changing.
It is changing. I think that change is a good change.
It's
That
a
is
nice
something that
change.
I wish to see
Yeah.
more often in Asia. Because honestly, though, sometimes just because Asians have monolith, especially East Asians. Where's this going? We look mean from far away sometimes. Let's be honest. We look like we have no interest in living.
No, it
breathing
depends
the
on
same air with
depends on
someone.
your face. It depends on your face.
I know, but I'm just
Your
saying.
face, my face
We look mean as fuck.
is RBS.
Yeah. We should have been those two girls at the movie Mean Girls. We should have been the mean bitches. That we look mean from far away. But when people start to talk to us, they realize we're such a soft-hearted people.
I won't really be talking, but you will be.
I'll
be there
Yeah.
as
You'll
a
be there.
emotional support.
And also you do astrological thing to them too. You do the black magic, I do the white magic.
Yeah, so I think this is a really interesting topic.
It was fun.
Everyone, I would love for you guys to think about some of your own culture shocks
Yeah.
and let us know.
Let us know.
Let's talk about it.
Please
And subscribe.
subscribe. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.
Happy birthday. Thank you.